Coffee in the morning is always a necessity. All right, let's see what my good friend Mr. Rambles is up to. You know, that guy is always rambling about something. So let's see what he's up to. Hey man, what's up?
I do love me some coffee.
All right, so this is the big boy, the thick boy, the iPhone 12 Pro Max. This was the iPhone that I was waiting for quite a long time, and this was going to be my daily driver. I already had it all planned in my head. I was excited for the 6.7-inch display, I wanted that all-day battery life, and this Pacific blue color was a must get. So after 96 hours with the iPhone 12 Pro Max, does it live up to the hype? Especially for me who is an Android avid user, and I'm coming to the 12 Pro Max from an absolute monster in a device, the OnePlus 8 Pro. So let's talk. I'll admit this is the best looking iPhone ever made to date. The matte Pacific blue back combined with the Pacific blue stainless steel bands and these flat edges make this iPhone such an enticing buy. You're probably saying to yourself, yeah, that's true, but what separates the iPhone 12 Pro Max from the regular 12 Pro? So this phone is an absolute battery beast. The 12 Pro Max comes with a 3687 mAh battery. Now, when you compare that battery capacity to that of flagship Android devices, it doesn't sound like a lot. But the optimization of iOS and the efficiency of the A14 Bionic, this phone is able to deliver some stellar battery life. So for the first 2 days, believe it or not, I was getting some unheard of screen on time. On the first day with this device, I got 12 hours of screen on time, followed by 11 hours and 33 minutes the next day. Now on the third day is where things start to get a bit interesting. My usage pattern throughout this week has remained fairly consistent. I was mostly using Twitter, Telegram, messaging on WhatsApp, and scrolling through social media. On the third day, the screen on time dropped to 9 hours and 47 minutes, followed by 8 hours and 27 minutes on the fourth day. Screen on time seems to be trending downwards, and I'm not sure exactly why that is, but I will keep you guys posted over on Twitter as I use this phone more and more. So if you are curious about my screen on time going forward, hit me up over on Twitter at RJTech. My handle is linked in the comments below. Now we gotta talk about this display. But before we do, if you bought this phone, be warned that this screen scratches super easily. Ceramic Shield is great for drops, but it looks like this year all iPhone 12 models are prone to scratches. So the first thing that I did was install a screen protector by ESR. It's a great screen protector that's easy to install, it's affordable, and the best part is you don't even notice it being on your screen. If you are interested in the screen protector, I will leave a link to it in the description below. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max is housing a 6.7-inch OLED display. It's smaller than the Note 20 Ultra 6.9-inch panel, and we also get a noticeable size notch over on the top. But this display was rated the best display on a smartphone in 2020 by DisplayMate. In fact, this display was the most color accurate display that was ever tested, which is really high praise. I personally wouldn't dub this display the best because it is missing 120 Hz, which I think is mandatory when you are dubbing a display the best in class. So you are missing that smooth scrolling, and gameplay could be a lot better with the 120 Hz. Even though the iPhone 12 Pro Max outperforms any Android device on the market, I just can't help feel that this device feels a bit sluggish just because it is missing that 120 Hz refresh rate. Although the OnePlus 8 Pro is the more inferior phone in terms of performance, it naturally just feels a lot smoother and faster than the 12 Pro Max just because of that insane refresh rate. Oh no, not this guy. Please don't let it be this guy. Oh my god, it's this guy.
RJ, I'll take it from here. The refresh rate on the display. Again, for all intents and purposes, the viewing experience is very similar to my iPad Pro, but my iPad Pro has a 120 Hz refresh rate display, and I noticed the difference. Not many people are going to. A lot of people say it doesn't matter at all. For me, as a user, I noticed the difference and it's there. Now, the iPhone does feel smooth in everything that it does. There are no hiccups, everything is buttery and creamy, but there's an undeniable quickness to the speed on the iPad Pro display versus this display. All right, I wish you guys a fantastic remainder of your day, and RJ, I'll get out of your hair now. And your glorious, glorious beard.
Thank you, David, for your input on the display. He's also primarily an Android user, so hope you guys all appreciated that different perspective. Make sure to check out both David and Patrick's channel. I will link them both down below. This phone is fantastic if you love having access to a mini movie theater in your pockets at all times. I've watched a ton of YouTube and Netflix on the 12 Pro Max, and I have to say it is such a nice immersive experience, especially in combination with these loud stereo speakers. I do have to say though, the 12 Pro Max is really heavy. If you were to drop this thing on your face, you most likely will either break your nose or will need to be hospitalized because it is that heavy. This thing feels like a brick in your hands. The 12 Pro Max weighs 8.03 ounces, so it's only 0.06 ounces heavier than the 11 Pro Max. But man, do you ever feel those extra ounces lugging this thing around? This isn't a joke. My right pinky has a permanent bump on it from using this phone one-handed. I kid you not. People who are used to big phones won't find the weight to be an issue, but I've used a plethora of devices throughout 2020, and this is by far the heaviest device I have ever used. I think it's pretty safe to say that if you want the best camera setup on a phone in 2020, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is the king. The 12 Pro Max has a larger sensor than the iPhone 12 Pro, which is supposed to deliver an 87% improvement in low light conditions versus the iPhone 11 Pro Max. The main sensor on the 12 Pro Max also features a fast f1.6 aperture and a LiDAR sensor for faster autofocus. I've only had this phone for less than a week, so I will review the cameras more in depth in the full review, so make sure you guys have that bell notification icon turned on so you don't miss when that video drops. With all of that being said, this has been my 96-hour review with the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I think it's a great buy if you want the best phone that Apple has to offer and you are a big phone enthusiast. The combination of this terrific display, top of the class cameras, and exceptional battery life make the iPhone 12 Pro Max a worthy buy. But if you don't care about the best-in-class cameras, but you want a phone with a good display and great battery life, I would recommend looking into the iPhone 11 Pro Max. It's going for about 1,000 Canadian dollars here, and I would argue that it's the best value iPhone to buy right now in 2020. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Major thanks to Patrick and David for the cameos. I'll catch you guys all in the next one, and don't forget to flex with your ridiculously heavy tech.